Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have an amazing video for you guys today. I found an article that you are going to absolutely love. It is from Business Insider and it's from businessinsider.com. And if you're in the market to buy a house or sell a house, or if you're in the rental market, you're gonna wanna pay attention to this article. It's got some amazing information that you're gonna wanna know about. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of read the article and make comments as I go along. Now, home buyers desperate to get that mortgage are lining up for the same risky bet that helped cause the 2008 housing crash. Now, here's some bullet points. Adjustable rate mortgages are making a comeback despite their role in the 2008 housing crash. LendingTree says that a number of ARM offered to borrowers have more than tripled since 2021. The shares of ARMs are offered to borrowers with lower credit scores and is also rising. It could cause problems down the line. So ARM loans stands for adjustable rate mortgages. So what ends up happening is adjustable rate mortgages, the rate changes as the mortgage rates change, right? So a lot of people got into ARM loans when the interest rates were very low, but now that the interest rates are going up, basically their mortgage payments can change, and they change after several years, right? And it's all in the contract. The problem is that when those rate changes start to apply, people their house payments could go from like $2,000 to $3,000, and if there's a downturn in the economy, if they're not making as much, if one of the spouses gets laid off and they just have less money overall, it causes a huge problem in their daily lives, their monthly, when they have to pay for their bills, right? So what ends up happening is basically they walk away from their home, adding more inventory to the market and creating kind of a downward spiral, a housing crash. And that's literally what happened in 2008, which was kind of scary because the banks were giving way too much money to people that basically couldn't afford it, right? And when the rates changed and everyone's housing mortgage payments doubled, or whatever, or went up by 50%, then they couldn't pay that mortgage anymore. And suddenly there was a huge flow of new homes in the market, which sent housing prices crashing down. Now, it's a little bit different in this economy in general because the banks didn't necessarily were giving money to people that didn't qualify, but the banks and the government as a whole did print out $10 trillion to help combat coronavirus. There was a lot of people on unemployment, a lot of people that probably didn't deserve unemployment that still got a lot of money. And I think when you were factoring COVID relief money plus unemployment, and there was, people were able to make like $40,000 in 1 year, right? And for someone who was working part-time at Starbucks, getting $40,000 in 1 year is a big deal, right? It is a big deal. So a lot of young people got it. And eventually what ended up happening is everybody started spending and everything went up, and now we have to pay back that $10 trillion. And how do you do it? Well, the problem is inflation. That's why we have inflation. So here, let me keep reading. Also known as ARM, let's start here. Also known as ARMs, these loans have interest rates that adjust over time depending on the fluctuation on market rates. They are less predictable than fixed mortgage rates as they tend to change periodically, but are attractive to borrowers as they initially have low interest rate payments. So ARM loans, they kind of hook you at the beginning with low interest, but then balloon over time, which kind of gets a little bit on the crazy side. With more borrowers struggling to afford home ownership, it is no surprise that they're making a comeback. However, Jacob Channel, the senior economist at LendingTree, says Americans should be wary about their resurgence. It is very important for both lenders and borrowers to know that the risk association with adjustable rate mortgages are not to become too cavalier about issuing or seeking out these types of loans. That's because ARMs played a key role in the housing bubble that has risen to 2008 crash. Leading up to the implosion, many subprime lenders enticed borrowers with interest-only ARMs, an adjustable mortgage that initially only required interest payments rather than including both principal and interest. However, when the rates spiked, many borrowers couldn't no longer afford the payments on their loans. That triggered a foreclosure crisis among homeowners, as well as a credit crisis among investors who owned bonds backed by these underwater mortgages. It also birthed the global recession. So I think, it's different though. Today is different. I don't think we are in this same, in 2008, banks lending people money and people got into houses, made the housing prices go up. And basically it all came crashing down because, the stock market was investing in some of these mortgage-backed securities. And basically, anyways, everything came crashing down, and then it brought everything else down, right? We, in 2022, even though the lending has gotten better, we have another problem, which is that the government essentially printed $10 trillion. When you see crypto going from, what it did, those record run that it had, it was because there was an excess of money in the market, right? Suddenly people were putting their money into things like crypto, and then we have also record low interest rates, right? So people that had money were able to borrow. While the findings of our study are not necessarily a cause for concern in the immediate future, if the trends of ARMs becoming more common and being offered to borrowers with lower scores continue, then the ARMs may once again contribute to the future of the housing crisis. Keep in mind that the rates increase or even 2 percentage points can increase a person's monthly mortgage rate by hundreds of dollars, depending on a factor like their loan amount and starting rate. So, I don't think we're gonna have the same problem of 2008 personally. I think that the housing market crash is going to be a crash due to the economy slowing down. And I don't think it's going to be a crash overnight. I think it's going to be a crash over the next few years. So it's going to basically bring down the prices little by little. And you're going to see these articles coming out where they're going to just be more and more negative over the next year or 2 years. But basically, the moral of the story right now is it is very important that if you have the ability to have a W-2 job and you want to get into a house, or maybe buy a second house, or maybe upgrade your house, it's basically right now is save as much money as possible, because I believe that in the next 2 years you're going to have an amazing buying opportunity. Investing in properties really, I think, is one of the best investments that you can do for yourself, for your family, and for generational wealth. Properties is, in my opinion, the best way to build generational wealth. But right now it's all eyes on the economy. Let's see how it all pans out, and save that money. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and if you do like these videos, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Remember, I am not a financial advisor, and I make these videos for entertainment purposes only. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.